It's not really ideal to have it resting on this surface. Now, I don't really have any moving blankets or anything, but we're going to be gentle on it and it should be fine. So let's see how this goes. Alright, welcome back for another exciting day. So today, it is yet again raining. We've been having a ton of rain lately, which leads me to where I'm going to take you first. We're going to hop into the basement and look at something. So, heading into the basement, and none of this really shocks me. I'm just going to show you the issue we've developed and why it's happening and what we're going to do about it. So here, I just turned the fan off. You'll notice I got this white powder up, and that's kind of preventative, just along the perimeter here. We have a bit of a millipede infestation that's developed. Now the basement isn't incredibly well sealed, so that's I forget what it's called. It's some kind of natural insect control. Diatomaceous earth, I think that's what it's called. So it's helped reduce the population. They build up really, really fast. So the reason they're kind of attracted to down here, you'll notice it looks a little damp on the floor here, and it looks a little bit damp on the wall. And we have that in a couple of spots, but this is by far the big one. And this isn't shocking at all. So we have no direct leakage into the basement anymore. So what's basically causing this is concrete is very porous. So given the right conditions, it will allow water to flow through it. It's essentially we've had so much rain lately, the ground is saturated around the house. It creates hydrostatic pressure, which pushes the water through the concrete foundation. Now, the reason this is likely happening, sometimes it happens from a damaged weeping tile system. But the weeping tile, I would make every assumption that it's likely fine. It's not that old compared to its lifespan, and I know it hasn't been tampered with. There's no way the previous homeowner dug that far, and there's no evidence of it at all. So I'm not going to worry about that. That's also highly invasive, and I would likely do all that work for no apparent reason. So the biggest reason it's likely happening, and maybe I can show you out here. So it's really hard to tell, but in this area in particular, and this is where the issue is occurring, it's mostly this corner of the house. We have backfall, and what that means is that the ground surrounding the house is raised up and falls back into the house on a slope. So that allows pooling of water against the foundation. And the other issue is our gutters. So I fixed this one somewhat. It obviously still leaks. The gutters are trash. They're really, really bad. Trying to seal them back up is an absolute nightmare. You usually have to take them down, take them apart and reassemble them anyway, and it's really difficult to do. But because we're not shedding water away from the house, typically you want it shed at least 6 to 10 feet away. That's why a lot of people get downspout extensions. It's allowed to pool here, and there's a lot of dipping right next to the foundation. So we're gonna grade it up so it does shed away properly. You should have, against the house, it's nice to have at least 4% slope. So 4% is approximately ½ an inch per foot. So for every foot out, it goes up about ½ an inch. So as a rule, just an easy way of knowing what the percentages mean, every foot is an 1/8 of an inch per percentile. So 1% is an 1/8 of an inch, 8% is a full inch. So that being said, that and the gutters. Now if that doesn't fix the issue, the solution still isn't necessarily going all the way down to the weeping tile, because if you go down there, likelihood is you got to dig up all the way around the house, when you run into situations like this, the most practical solution is a French drain. So what a French drain is we would dig a trench in the problem areas, and we would install basically a raised weeping tile system, and we would use that, the piping and everything, and we would shed water away from the house to somewhere where it can drain safely, that method, and bypass the weeping tile system altogether. Because to try and go in there, that would be a real can of worms, especially if we have future work planned. It would really be wasting time, money, and effort. It's very, very invasive when you start getting into that kind of work. So, at any rate, that problem became noticeable, I want to say, maybe a couple of weeks ago, you know, since we've been having all this rain. And I really hope it stops. It's been keeping me from getting my regular work done because I work outdoors. So days like today, you know, the weather looked fine. I went in and I wound up having to leave. A big rain system just developed right over top of us, and it was just staying there. And when I looked at the weather radar, it was staying till about 3-4 o'clock, and by that point I'm just wasting a day. So I get more time in the house. So let's have a look at what we're working on today. So here's where I left off yesterday. So this tile has to come off. It's not going to take me that long. I was in a bit of a rush yesterday because I had a lot of things I had to take care of after this. So basically we're going to get this out and we're going to safely remove the tub. And once that's done, we're going to remove basically from about here straight back to the exterior wall, and we're going to clear up about 3 feet of space, and that's going to allow us to use this area here more effectively when we actually go to live here. It's a small sacrifice, shrinking up the bathroom a little bit. We'll be able to use it the same, it just won't be as open. So yeah, some sacrifices had to be made, and that seemed the most reasonable one, so that's where we're going there. So we got a lot on our plates, and I've already got my list of things I got to do as soon as I'm done with the demo. So let's get this done so we can move on. Isn't that the worst when you try opening the bag from the bottom and you can't understand why it won't open? All right, so that was a bit of a chore, but the tile is off. So now we're gonna get it cleaned up and we're gonna move on to the next step. In this case, it's removing all the drywall around the tub and anything we would be removing from the bathroom. That way we can hopefully slide the tub out. Well, we got it disconnected at the bottom, there's the drain. But once it's disconnected, we can slide it out and maybe just leave it there until I get some help. I don't know how heavy it is, but I'm guessing this is a very heavy tub. So once it's slid back, the next step will be removing the rest of the drywall and then the framing. So, sounds simple enough, let's get it done. So I'm going to go down and disconnect the drain real quick, and then we'll pull this tub back. It's already free. Alright, Ray, disregard the last one I said. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to disconnect the drain, and the tub will be free. We can just pull it straight back. Alright, I'll start with what I'm assuming is the easy one. We've got the overflow. Just a little cotter pin back here. Just going to tap it back and make sure it's actually free. And it's moving. Now, the drain here, this one I'm assuming is going to be a lot more difficult. They're usually siliconed in on the flange, and I don't actually have the drain removal tool, but what I find works in a pinch, I just stick some needle nose pliers in there, give it a turn this way, and that did not work. Yeah, it's so broken down, it just busted. Didn't even take any effort. Alright, well, we're going to have to take care of that one from down below, but that's no problem. So let's head down and see what we're looking at. Alright, so this is what we're trying to disconnect here. So I think what I'll try to do is, this is all metal piping. I'm going to try and turn this out, and I got this piece going upright. Should help stabilize it a little bit. I don't want to like have this move back and forth too much. It might damage the tub. Probably won't, but it might. So I'm going to see if I can take that back. If I can take that back, I'm going to start turning this and see if I can take it the other direction. If I can get it loose up top, odds of my getting it out easier or way better. That way. No. I was wrong. It's copper and it's soldered in. So I think I'll just cut that. Yeah. There we go. Just turning in place, not really enough room to get any tools in there. I think I'll just tip it up on its side, and then it'll be easier to work on up top. Alright, so if I'm going to plan to tip this forward, what I need to do is make sure the wall is cleared up enough that it can just rotate out. So the first thing I want to do is remove this plumbing. So it's already disconnected down below. I'm just going to disconnect the head up there, and I'll be able to take this out one piece, and then I'm just going to strip the nails off the wall and the drywall that's overlapping a little bit. That way we can just rotate it out. Alright, so it should be free to rotate out, And I just swept up right in front. That way, if there's nothing there that would actually scratch the surface while I'm working on it while it's tipped up. It's not really ideal to have it resting on this surface. Now, I don't really have any moving blankets or anything, but we're going to be gentle on it and it should be fine. So let's see how this goes. Alright, that wasn't too bad. So now we can have a look at the other side and see what we're up against. Alright, so I've now got it revealed. So at this point, I can get a wrench right here and turn it and see what's going on the other side and see if I could just break it free. So, see how that goes.